Hello everyone, it's Spurs Radio 96 here, and welcome to the 10th episode of the FIFA 18 Zenit St Petersburg career mode. We begin today's episode in the Russian Premier League at the Krastovsky Stadium, where we will be facing one of our rivals, FC Tosno, in the Northwest Derby, I found out in a Wikipedia post. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I suggest you do so. We had some cracking games in that episode, particularly up against Rosenborg BK in Europa League and the reigning Russian Premier League champions Spartak Moscow in their home patch. As you can see there by the table, we are still in first place, unbeaten in the league, with an unbeaten home record, not just in the season in the career mode, with 37 points, 2 points ahead of second place FC Krasnodar. Also we have the best defensive record in the league as well, 7 goals just conceded, 5 less than second place Lokomotiv Moscow. FC Tosno are sitting 11th in the league with 18 points, doing reasonably well actually, despite being a newly promoted club to the Russian Premier League. As I was saying, obviously Zenit St Petersburg's main rivals are Dynamo St Petersburg, who are of course in the second tier of Russian football pyramid. They're known as the St Petersburg derby, but Tosno only live like 20 odd miles up the road, or if you can say up the road, from St Petersburg, Zenit St Petersburg, so it's known as the Northwest Derby when they play, so it's going to be a very interesting derby. There's a good chance for Poles there in the first half, up to on the 41st minute there, took a strike and was deflected off one of the Tosno players for a corner, and obviously I found out this was a big derby game. That's because we had the best attendance in the career mode so far. Corner from Akron and headed in from Mamana. And Zenit St Petersburg lead in the Northwest Derby. The fans cheer. The player celebrates Mamana. This will be his first goal in the Russian Premier League. I think it's his first ever goal for Zenit St Petersburg. Lovely delivery from our captain Ekrin, of course. We signed from Rostov in the transfer window, and Mamana, who of course came, I think, from Atletico Madrid, or whichever way. I think it was Atletico Madrid, I'm not really sure, but either way, fantastic header for Mamana. First goal in the Russian Premier League. Oh no, he actually came from Olympic Lyonnais. That just came to my mind all of a sudden. Yeah, he came from Olympic Lyonnais. Eric Mamana, whatever his first name is, but he scores a bulletproof header and we lead 1-0, and that is the end of the first half in the Northwest Derby. We lead 1-0 against FC Tosno. Fairly disappointed in the first half. I mean, FC Tosno basically sat back with 2 banks of 4, obviously really keen to upset our fans and get a point away from our place, and not make us very pleased. We come on to the second half. Chances starting to be created now. Kranevitter with a good strike there, as gaps are starting to appear for Zenit Tosno. They're losing their concentration as our players are picking up more pace and speed. Platnev with a cross. Kranevitter with the chance, and he puts it over the bar, and he knows that's a crucial chance to make it 2-0 and wrap the game up. Now FC Tosno have given the ball away again towards Mamana. Here's Polos in towards Panyakov, but it won't count. The flag is off for offside. The linesman's flag is up, as you can see there, and Polnikov will be very disappointed to score because he was on he could have scored. He probably should have scored his first goal for the club, but he was deemed offside. But there's the full-time whistle, celebration from the players. And as much as you can see, I'm very pleased with that. Derby victory is always the sweetest of results. We've now done the double over FC Tosno, of course. We started the second game of the season with a 4-0 win away at FC Tosno at our old ground, the Petrovsky Stadium. That was where Zenit St Petersburg used to play before they moved to their fantastic new stadium. But bragging rights in St Petersburg, fantastic result. We win 1-0. Here at the against FC Tosno. We come on to the second game of the episode, a crucial Europa League tie away against Spanish side Real Sociedad, arguably the team we need to fear. That will give us a really competitive and close run affair in a close game in this match, because Real Sociedad are the only team that can stop us from topping the group. If we win or draw against Real Sociedad in this game, we will be confirmed as the group winners of Group L. We already are confirmed, as you can see there, into the round 32 stage of the Europa League. Real Sociedad haven't. Rosenborg BK do have a chance to sneak up to second place. It's still mathematically possible. But if Real Sociedad win, they still have a slim chance of topping Group L as well. If we lose our last game against SCA Altec, which will be in the next episode, we bring in the full first team for this match. And hopefully, it can work out. And it started brilliantly well. Cocker River chance in the 7th minute, coming up to the 8th minute. Great save from Rulli. We absolutely have dominate. We dominate the first half, as you will see throughout the highlights of this particular game. We absolutely, we totally destroyed them in terms of creating chances. With probably double figures. Kuzev with a corner now. And clears away from one of their players. Kuzev has the ball again and gives it toward. Oh, what a strike and what a save that is from Rulli. I think it was Rigani who actually took the strike, the centre back, laid it to him on a plate, and Rigani, and look at that, what a save from Rulli. The ball goes through his legs, but somehow doesn't go in. Incredible. We come on to the 23rd minute. We're just creating chances willy-nilly, getting the ball, dispossessing them all the time. Cochrane on the charge from a great through ball. Cochrane with a wonderful, magnificent shot out of the box. But Rulli is there again. He is proving to be the difference of Zenit St Petersburg not leading in Real Sociedad's backyard. Fantastic strike from Cochrane again, and Rulli with another magnificent save. Onto the added time of the first half. Great pass, I don't know who it was, but it's given away from Lottery, from Lorente Jersey with a strike, and Rulli saves again. Unbelievable. And that is the end of the first half. What a fantastic goalkeeping performance from Real Sociedad's number one, Rulli. He has saved them so many times. I think it was like 2 to 3, 4 really good saves, particularly that one in the corner where Regani had a chance after a lovely delivery from Kuzev. But it's finished 0-0 at half time against Real Sociedad. On to the second half. We're still battering them like the clappers. Druzy with a great through ball towards Cochrane. Can Cochrane take the chance this time? No, he can't. With Rulli with another good save. He's winning this war against Cochrane in this match. Cochrane now lays the ball to Druzy on the foot in the 64th minute. Druzy's coming onto the outside of the box, being chased by the defender. It's going to be Cochrane's chance. Oh, he's at the post this time. He can't do it. Moreno's trying to clear the ball. Druzy's being a nuisance to him. And Druzy's trying to get the ball for Lorente, but they just managed to get the ball away. And now maybe it's a Real Sociedad's time to go on the attack here. But no, they've given the ball away towards Kuzev. Now here's Cochrane. Now towards Sebastian Druzy. He's going into the box. Is he going to take the strike? Oh, really does it. But he doesn't save it. He doesn't keep it out. And Kuzev is in it in. What a shame for Rulli. He's played so well. But joy for Zenit St Petersburg. They have been battering and Sociedad's defence. And they've tried so hard to break them down. And it's finally paid off. Just approaching 70 minutes. The home fans can't believe it. It has been coming, to be fair. We've been knocking on the door for most of the game. Rulli with some phenomenal save. That was a fantastic late reaction save from Rulli, from a shot from Druzy. And Kuzev, I think, has scored his first goal for the club, I believe. That's his. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he isn't. It's his third goal in the Europa League. He still hasn't scored in the domestic campaign yet for Zenit St Petersburg. I'm sure after scoring 3 goals in the Europa League, just like Druzy has, hopefully his form will pick up in the Russian Premier League. We come on to the 72nd minute, and all of a sudden Sociedad have woken up here. Ozbarol has got a chance, and Unev with a good save, diving to his right hand side. Looked like a tameful strike, but didn't seem to be, according to Lunev's save. James Tavernier comes on as a substitute. Sociedad with their first corner of the match. Oh, William Jose with a chance for Ghani's deflected. Chaos ensuing at the back. Now in towards Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a strike and drags it wide. Horrible finish that was on his left foot. We have a chance now to regroup and regain, but we've given the ball away. In towards Yanazai. Canalas. Now in towards Lorente, the defender. Great, fantastic save from Lunev. This is a fantastic display of goalkeeping brilliance, not just from Rulli of Sociedad, but from my keeper Lunev as well. Sociedad with a corner to try and level things up to get an unlikely point. 17 minutes played. Oh, what a good save! And Zukta has fired it, and Zuatuza, I think that's how you say his name, heads it wide. What a thunderbolt is from their substitute. Lunev with a great save, and he should have finished that. Zuknev with an open net effectively, albeit with one of my defenders being a goal in the goalkeeping position. But that is it, full time, and we have won the Real Sociedad, and we will top the group of Group L with maximum points. That is now 15 points we've claimed, 5 straight games 5 straight wins. Kuzev with the winner. We could have scored maybe 3, 4, 5 goals. Sociedad were terrible apart from the last 10 minutes of the second half when they woke up really and started putting on pressure to get an unlikely point. But we win 1-0 away at Real Sociedad to be confirmed as the group winners. Now we return from the heat of Spain to the cold night of Russia as we return to the Russian Premier League action against the reigning champions Spartak Moscow away at their ground in snowy conditions once again. Now of course Spartak Moscow, of course, are the reigning champions, but they're struggling a bit. They are currently in 4th with 29 points, a point ahead behind Lokomotiv Moscow, and 5 behind FC Krasnodar. We are top with 40 points, so they're nearly 11 points adrift, and we, Zenit St Petersburg, are now 5 points clear of second place FC Krasnodar. Of course, we beat Real Spartak Moscow in our first home match of the career mode in 4-1 demolition against Spartak Moscow, and I'm sure they've learnt their lessons is to try and get a good result in the home reversal. Kokorin there, of course, he is still the top scorer in the Russian Premier League, I think with 10 goals, the only player to break into the double figures at this stage. Spartak Moscow's team, of course, there's some players I don't know and some players I do know. Luis Adriano starts up front, there's Kevin Morales in the left wing position, Semedov, Fernando. I'm sure they're going to be some difficult pests to cope with in the duration of this match. Also, our team, of course, we've put on the first team, and yeah, away from home we've been struggling really in the last few games. We've had mostly draws instead of wins, to be fair, after our fantastic start away from home against the 2 promoted clubs, Khabarovsk and Tosno. We've had a few draws and wins. We've drawn Amkar Perm, we've drawn Dynamo Moscow, CSK Moscow, of course, in that cracking episode last time, check it out, of course. And of course, you want Rubik Kazan. But on the first half, 7 minutes, Kruzev with a cross. Whoa, what a good... with an overhead kick from Druzy. Very, well, it was a brave decision, that's for sure. He was determined to do that, that's for sure. Of course, he's struggling from a bit of a drought in the Russian Premier League. Hopefully he can break that drought soon as possible. But now Hanin has a chance. Does some fantastic skill to get rid of Kuzev, and he's on the charge in the box, and he's done another fantastic interception. Oh, it's fantastic from Hanin, and look at that, he's taken the lead against Zenit St Petersburg. Spartak Moscow, the reigning champions, are leading against Zenit St Petersburg. It's CSK Moscow away from home all over again. His last episode effectively repeated. Hanin with some phenomenal footwork, doing some fantastic skill, dribbles and through balls and nutmegs, you name it. He's got past 3 to 4 players there, completely destroyed me, has to be said. And he does it, and he finishes it off with a magnificent finish. And we've got a lot to ponder, because Sofia Hanin, his first goal in the Russian League, what a time to do it. And he has taken, and he's guaranteed that Spartak Moscow are in front against the league leaders Zenit St Petersburg. Could this be redemption day for Spartak Moscow? We come on to the 44th minute. They have a corner. Semedov's going to take it. Regani's going to clear it. Gorshini tries to get something, continues their attack, but doesn't make it happen. But now Kokorin laid it to Druzy, and Druzy's on the attack with one of their players coming through. Druzy's still going for it. He's going to take a strike. It's at the bar, and Checo has to clear it there. What an effort that was from Druzy. He's really, really determined, really desperate almost. He'll try anything to get a goal in the Russian Premier League at the moment. But half time, and we are 1-0 down against Spartak Moscow, and that's no surprise. They've been pushing us really, really hard, and I didn't feel very comfortable with them doing that. Really, we have to change our tactics for the second half if we're to get a point. We're 1-0 down at half time. On to the 84th minute. That's how hard we've been pushing, and how hard Spartak Moscow have made this game for us. Druzy now has laid it to Kokorin. Can Kokorin take the chance? He can! And just approaching 87 minutes, Alexander Kokorin has struck again. Is that the needle in the coffin for Spartak Moscow? They have pushed so much in the first half. They've defended brilliantly well in the second half. It's taken us that long to break them down and finally get a chance of 1-on-1 with the keeper. Great pass from Rigoni to find Druzy, then Druzy to Kokorin. Kokorin calm and composed with the finish at Sparta in front of the Spartak Moscow fans. And for the second episode running, right at the very end of the game, just like CSK Moscow, we are looking set to get a point away from Spartak for Moscow again, this time from Spartak Moscow, the reigning champions. Kokorin with 11 goals. He's doing absolutely fantastic in this career mode. Long may it continue. 1-1 at the moment, and there goes, and the 90th minute, whatever it is, and there goes the full-time whistle, and we have a point away against one of our rivals, Spartak Moscow. Spartak Moscow almost became the first team, like I said against CSKA Moscow, almost became the first team to hand us our first defeat, not of the Premier League, but in the career mode itself. But we didn't prove, we did never ever give up. We fight to the end. Kokorin proved that, the team proved that with the creation of his goal, and Kokorin finishes it to make sure we leave Spartak Moscow with a 1-1 draw. Again, fantastic there. And we come onto the table at the end of the episode, as always. We are still top of the league, unbeaten in the career mode, let alone the Russian Premier League. We have 12 wins, 5 draws, 32 goals scored. Not the best offensive record in the league. We've conceded 8 goals, still by far the best in defence in the Russian Premier League. We have 41 points, 3 points ahead of FC Krasnodar, who are second with 38 points. They have equally the best offensive record in the league, scoring 33 goals, same as third place Lokomotiv Moscow. Of course, we have a game in hand over FC Krasnodar, so we can extend our lead even further, which is fantastic. The reigning champions Spartak Moscow are fourth with 30 points, 2 points ahead of Dynamo Moscow, who are now to fifth. Of course, they were promoted from the second division, so they're having a fantastic season, as are FC UFA, who are 6th with 27 points, 2 points ahead of CSKA Moscow and Rubin Kazan. CSKA Moscow is 7th with 25 points, 2 points ahead of 8th place Rubin Kazan. Those teams are rather disappointing, to be fair. Rostov is 9th, also with 23 points, and Zimakanela are 10th with also 23 points. 11th, of course, is Tosno, who's doing really well in their first season in the Premier League, doing reasonably well. Akhmat Grozny are P12 with 20 points. Arsenal Chula moved up to place to 13th on 17 points, level with FC Real, but they're ahead of them on goal difference. SKA Khabarovsky still on 15th with 12 points, some 5 points adrift of 13th and 14th place clubs Arsenal, Chula and FC Real, also conceding 29 goals. And Amkar Prime still stuck at the bottom, winless with 5 draws, 14 defeats, 32 goals scored and 5 points. I think they're going to be confirmed as relegation winners. Will they ever win? Who knows? And on to the Europa League group stage, Group L in particular. As you can see, that we are top with 5 wins, 11 goals scored, 3 conceded, 15 points. I think we're the only team in the Europa League to have that particular record. No draws, just 5 straight wins. Sociedad are second with 7 points, but they do have a chance to be jumped up to second by, surprisingly, SCR Altac, who beat Rosenborg BK in that fixture as we played Real Sociedad. And Rosenborg BK will no longer progress. They're bottom, the Norwegian champions. On to the preview for the next episode, of course, for last month of 2017 in-game, December. We will be hosting FC Ural in the Russian Premier League, who of course are in 13th, 14th place in the league, so the secondary team will get a chance. Then we host SCR Altac at home at the Krastovsky Stadium in the last group match of the Europa League. Hopefully we can give some maybe of our youth players a chance to show on one of Europe's biggest stages, club stages. And then we will face Akhmat Grozny away from home to round off the Russian Premier League for 2017 before our 3-month break, before we resume our Premier League action in March. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.